Semester 1 at Kyambogo University has long been synonymous with the hustle and bustle of good elections, a vibrant dance of democracy as students rally behind leaders they believe will champion their voices. However, the 2024 electoral season was anything but ordinary. What began as a promising chapter of leadership renewal soon unraveled into a dramatic saga of disqualifications, delays, and discontent. Like a thunderstorm gathering on the horizon, the trouble started innocuously enough. Following the release of the electoral roadmap by the Guild Electoral Commission, aspiring candidates threw their hearts into the ring. Campaigns were spirited. The university buzzed with slogans and promises as candidates canvassed for votes. The voting day, initially slated for October 10th, was later postponed to October 17th. Despite the delay, students held on to hope, eager to exercise their democratic rights. But on October 14th, dark clouds loomed over the electoral process. The Guild Electoral Commission Chairman, Sembati Axum, issued a bombshell document disqualifying 3 candidates, Subi Isaac, Boite Tony, and Akiso Benjamin, on grounds of forgery. The allegations stemmed from a petition filed by Hilary Mangeni Borough and Article 9, Clause 1F of the Kyambogo Guild Constitution. The accused tribe vehemently denied the charges, but only Rwantonzi Thomas, also known as Masavu, survived the disqualification. His escape from the axe was attributed to the petitioner's failure to present substantial evidence. The disqualification sent in a turbulent storm, Masavu found himself at the center of the drama, navigating the murky waters of student politics. The story of Kyambogo's 2024 Guild elections is a stark reminder of the fragility of democracy when marred by intrigue and mismanagement. It is a cautionary tale of how hope, when defied, can spark waves of unrest and uncertainty. Yet amid the storm, it also stands as a testament to the unyielding spirit of students who refuse to let their voices be silenced. As the dust settles and investigations proceed, one can only hope that lessons will be learned and justice, like the rising sun, will eventually shine through the clouds.
Yes, welcome to the next edition of the Ivan Show, and today I bring you Kyambogo University issues, guild elections. Majority of you have contacted me in your inboxes to give you a highlight of what is transpiring on this Banda-based University Hill. But with me today, I am bringing one of the contesting guild presidents to give us a clear image of what is transpiring, what is not happening, what has happened. We are going to talk about quite a lot of issues, and I believe before this show ends, we shall have a clear image of the issues affecting Kyambogo University Guild elections. Welcome to the show, and thanks for allowing to speak to me, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. I'm so humbled.
Yes. Mr. President, quite a number of issues are happening here at Kyambogo University, and we have seen in press conferences and many things happening. But first, briefly introduce yourself to the public, and then we start from there.
Thank you very much, Ivan Shaw. I will take this opportunity thank Ivan Shaw program for honoring my chance for taking it very far as regards to what is happening in Kyambogo University. Thomas Rwantonzi Thomas is my name, a student of Kyambogo University, a former GRC representing Faculty of Science in the 20th Guild government, a former chairperson for Social On and Campus Affairs in the 20th Guild government, an aspiring Guild president, the 21st Guild president. Dear viewers, I thank you for tuning in Ivan Show. As you have come this evening, we will need to highlight you more about what is happening in Kyambogo University as regards to Kyambogo University Guild elections. It was 26th of September 2024 when the 9 candidates were nominated to run for Guild race. But it was quite unfortunate that even when the EC had set 10th of October to have elections. It was 8th of October when the elections were postponed to be held on 17th of October. It was due simply because the EC chairperson had concluded with the administration that there was inability to purchase and print out ballot papers in time, but which was unfortunate to give presidents.
Yes, Your Excellency, thank you so much. We are going to get much information and deep dive in that issue. But for starters, I want you to first give us the background, because in early this semester you were one of the candidates who came and came to Banda and everywhere, all hostels. You were really a shining star out of the 9. What inspired you to contest in the first place? Before we go into those electoral processes issues, as Rwantonzi Thomas Masavu. Where does the name Masavu originate from?
Masavu originates from what we call fats. And really to be called Masavu, it was due to demand for students. As they saw Masavu within me, that I would surely liberate Kyambogo University.
So is it a political name or it is a Christian? You were baptized that name?
It's a political name.
It's a political name. Yes. Masavu. Did you ever meet this this young lady who sang the song? Azawi.
Much as I tried to get in touch with Azawi, but it was quite unfortunate that I'm still trying to reach out to her.
Okay, fantastic. So what inspired you to contest, given your background of leadership? What inspired you to contest as a guild president in this term?
In the first place, passion and willingness to represent the interests of Kyambogo University students, right interests to the University Council. One of the roles of the guild president is to represent the voices of the 35,000 students of Kyambogo University, bearing in mind that all along from my primary level, I've been serving as a leader until I reached at the university level, when I reached Kyambogo University and I contested for GRC race and I had to win. That made me feel that I can as well represent Kyambogo University students. I can represent the voices and the grievances of Kyambogo University students, which means I must be having passion about serving the interests of Kyambogo University students.
How many consultative meetings did you make before you thought about, before you officially made a decision to contest?
What I still remember, when I was in high school, probably it was in my senior 6 vacation, after I had completed senior 6, I sat down, I thought of one time becoming a leader at the university. By the time I reported for the university, I had it in mind that I can one time become the guild president of Kyambogo University, which is yet to be reflected. I first consulted one of my mentors and I really enjoyed the advice they gave me that I can as well make it in life. Though things may be up and down, but I can as well make it in life as I can become Kyambogo University guild president.
Well, now you contest as a guild president. By the way, dear viewers, is an NRM flag bearer here at Kyambogo University. How did you feel, because you were having a contesting race in your NRM primaries with the one lady is called Nyamutoro, yeah. How was that race? Because it seemed so competitive.
First of all, it's indeed applicable that you have always given different parties chances at the university level, but all we have seen, it's like those parties have totally failed. That's the fact what I can say. But coming under NRM was a passion and willingness that through NRM we can achieve some of the things that the former presidents have failed to achieve. Bear in mind that Kyambogo University is a public university of which to duly cooperate with the government you must be coming under NRM ticket. Coming in the race with Her Excellency Nyamutoro Donam, it was due to the fact that we aligned and had to join forces and rally behind, and she had to rally behind Thomas Rwantonzi to become the guild president, of which we do feel Thomas Rwantonzi is going to become the guild president of Kyambogo University.
Given your background of being a GRC 2 times, right? One time, being a GRC and then at the same time a minister. What are those achievements?
Point of correction, I have not been a minister, but I've been a chairperson for social honor and campus affairs.
All right, thank you for the correction. Yeah. What are those outstanding achievements you made during your term of office?
First of all, it's evident enough that in Faculty of Science, we had the challenge of delayed results, whereby we would just usher into another semester when we still had missing marks of the previous semester. But it was all about coming together as all the GRCs from Faculty of Science together with the faculty dean to have those results always released in time. Another thing, the sanitation of Faculty of Science was surely in bad condition, but at the very moment we ushered in, we immediately had to kick off from that issue. And as well now, right now, if you can just go there and check in Faculty of Science, it's one of the best places in Kyambogo University.
Thank you. To remind the viewers, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment in the comment section of this conversation. The link below, just tap into it and subscribe to TMF channel. And I must remind you that this show is proudly sponsored by Pure Serve Engineering Services. Okay, now we come to the electoral processes this semester. That is the main issue, but we wanted to first have a background about you. This semester, Kyambogo University has registered 2 strikes. 2 strikes, all students involved, and you had your issues. One, the first strike, give us the background of the first strike. Then the second strike, I remember, it came as a result of these electoral issues.
As it has always been, there is a say that when the grievances of the majority aren't heard by the minority, that the best option to do is having a demonstration, which is a peaceful demonstration. Point of correction, it was not a strike, but it was rather a demonstration, whereby in the Ugandan constitution, it legally allows us to have a peaceful demonstration. The first demonstration was all about 50% tuition increment. It wasn't even about 50% tuition increment, but there are some of the courses whereby tuition was increased by 104%. Much as students had to express their grievances through demonstration, but it was unfortunate this demonstration wasn't successful, and the administration continued to impose or to implement what favors the administration, not what favors the students' affairs.
But it is alleged that the former guild president participated fully, was a NUP president, fully in implementing that increment, according to the vice chancellor.
Much as it is alleged, because one time we saw the vice chancellor releasing a letter that tuition increment policy was signed on 23rd of April 2020, which was signed in the 19th guild government, of which we do believe by the virtue of power entrusted in the vice chancellor to release a letter, it must be sure that that policy was signed in 2023 in the 19th guild government to effect 2024-2025 academic year.
So do you agree that students were represented? Now the blame, you don't blame the vice chancellor, I think you blame the student leadership at that time that misrepresented the interests of students.
First of all, at the University Council, we have 2 students that do represent other students who are the stakeholders of Kyambogo University. We have the guild president and the female representative to council. Those are the 2 students that represent Kyambogo University students to the University Council. It was their responsibility to make sure that that policy wasn't going to be signed, but since it was signed, we must put a blame to the people that made sure that policy was signed. Thank you.
Thank you. Here, according to this document, it says you were supposed to, according to Article 5, 6, 7, 9, and 17 of Kyambogo Guild Constitution, you were supposed to have elections after the first postponement, 17th and 18th of October. And unfortunately, the Electoral Commission, which was chaired by Mr. Sembatia Akizam, released the document giving out the results from the petition on Rwantonzi Thomas, on Subi Isaac, Bugete Tone, and Akiso Benjamin. Okay? Yes. Now, the 3 other candidates were disqualified 2 days to election. According to the statement from the EC on Rwantonzi Thomas Masavu, they said, Rwantonzi Thomas Masavu presented evidence supporting his pursuance of 2 courses. He quoted section 8.15 of the joining institutions of Kyambogo University that permits one to pursue 2 courses for as long as they are not on the same level. He also presented his portal to the effect that he does not have the said retake, and the petitioner couldn't prove otherwise. The committee unanimously agreed that he is innocent from the petitioner's allegations. What do you have to say about the disqualification of 3 candidates who are contesting against you? Then 2, explain to us how you are doing 2 courses at the same time. And again, do you agree with what the EC did of disqualifying candidates 2 days to voting, yet you were nominated, they were given time to nominate, scrutinize the papers and everything, then you disqualify someone when campaigns are done?
First of all, it's quite unfortunate that one of the students had to petition the 4 candidates, of which were duly nominated by the EC, and it was on ground that one of the candidates had a retake and the other 3 candidates were petitioned on allegations of forgery.
Yes.
Much as their papers or our papers were scrutinized very well, and it was unfortunate that 2 days to elections, the EC chairperson, the EC had to disqualify those candidates on grounds of forgery.
Yes.
It's true. And of which Thomas Rwanton stands there and says it wasn't a better option to disqualify the candidates from the race, having their papers scrutinized very well on grounds that were duly nominated.
But for you now, it gives you a landslide victory for their disqualification. I think you would be happy.
You know, sometimes you can't dine on the same time with the people on the same table where disrespect is served.
Yes.
That's the fact.
That's true.
We must be, an EC must be independent, and we must be believing in fairness and transparent within an election.
So why were you striking after this electoral ruling? Because afterwards we saw a strike after the university informed the students' body that they are going to set up an interim leadership to take you up until all this is sorted.
This goes to the majority Kyambogo University students. We do believe that Kyambogo University Guild Constitution mandates, we have the Article 7(1)(b), whereby we must have the General Assembly, of which the ideas of students must be convened through that General Assembly as well as the management. It was quite unfortunate that even after postponement of an election from 17th to 22nd of
until
October,
further notice,
by the EC, there was a contradiction whereby
Yes.
the EC chairperson had to postpone election from 17th to 22nd of October.
yes,
Another place, we received a letter from the Vice Chancellor suspending election until further notice. But afterwards, on 25th of October, we saw a letter again from the Vice Chancellor's office suspending election until further notice on grounds that the dean of students had received several petitions from the students. Another thing, the EC had totally failed to conduct an election whereby it failed to submit the documents of the candidates in time. Coming up with the resolutions of what transpired through the meeting of the management, it was to have a caretaker government, of which we do feel that in the Kyambogo University Guild Constitution, it doesn't mandate the administration to get or to interfere in any matters of the students' affairs.
So the Vice Chancellor is acting against the law, according to Kyambogo University Guild election.
Because we can't have a caretaker government when the Guild President and the Cabinet are still in existence. We do believe that within the powers of the President, as stated in the Guild Constitution, the Guild President seizes power after he has handed over to the next Guild President.
So is the incumbent President still serving or is no longer active?
Of recent, but it's quite fortunate, of recent we received a document from one of the outside organizations whereby it was duly signed by the Dean of Students calling some of the GRCs to certain meeting signed by the Guild President even after we had dissolved the House, which means as of now the President is still acting, though coming up with a caretaker government, it wasn't the best option before they would even consult the aspiring presidents. Because it's like many of the presidents we are left out in decision making, of which students feel they would have engaged the presidents to come around the table, reach consensus and see what next.
So do you think, finally as we wind up our discussion, do you think the interim leadership introduced by the Vice Chancellor, because in a press conference I saw him say students of Kyambogo must have that interim leadership, whether you want it. If you don't, you go and hang, according to him. Do you think that interim leadership is representing the students' interests at the moment?
First of all, there must be a conflict of interest, that's what I can say. Because the chairperson of the caretaker government is the Dean of Students, of which there must be a conflict of interest whereby the Dean of Students, very difficult for the Dean of Students who serves the management to go ahead and serve the interests of the university, students.
Yes.
So, bearing in mind that a caretaker government, much as it may work, but it must be having a time frame of which the Vice Chancellor must come out and clearly give us clarity of which period is the caretaker government going to take over.
Do you have hopes of holding these elections anytime this?
Because as of now, it's still uncertain that we haven't received any official communication from the Vice Chancellor of when to have elections. Of recent, they had to constitute an ad hoc committee that is still investigating the matters as regards to EC to elections.
You see, there is this habit that is developing in public universities of the ECB, of the administration being too assertive on students that are not allowed to even do the demonstration we are talking about. In Makerere, you do it, they suspend you as high school. So I see the same coming here at Kyambogo. How do you intend to deal with it when you are elected a guild president? That is, if elections happen.
First of all, that must be done through policy assessment and policy implementation. One time, we had the same thing that is happening here, we had it at Makere, whereby within that caretaker government, they had to implement many things of which they later affected the students' affairs. That's why at Makere, it has become the order of the day that even when you try to demonstrate, they squeeze up to the extent of being suspended indefinitely from the university, of which if you are not serious as Kyambogo University students, we might see this happening at Kyambogo University. But Thomas Rwantonzi, the 21st Guild President, as I can say, there must be open dialogue of which students must be involved in decision making. Let's not leave the works of the management to the management alone. There must be that dialogue between the management and the students, because one of the roles of the Guild President is to bridge that gap between the students and administration.
Okay, thank you. We are approaching the examination period. Now you wish success to your supporters, one, and even entire Kyambogo University students as we wind up the discussion.
First of all, I really thank the Kyambogo University students who have really been with me from the start, because a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, of which we do feel that we've reached 80% of the journey. I do call upon you to kindly keep on supporting Thomas Rwantonzi, myself, as your next guild president. As we approach the examination period, I kindly request you to utilize the chances we have, to utilize every time we have, because every minute wasted can never be regained. Let's concentrate as we wish each other success in the forthcoming exams. Thank you very much. Knowledge and skills for service for God and my country.
Thank you so much. We have been having a deep discussion with one of the aspiring guild presidents at Kyambogo University, Mr. Rwantonzi Thomas, but Masavu is a political name. We are here at Kyambogo University, and I believe that what he has said is a representation of the voiceless. So I call upon everyone to subscribe, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Let us push this platform to activate the voices of young people, as we want a better university, we want a better nation, and we want a better country to live in. We are proudly sponsored by Pure Serve Engineering Services as our proud sponsors of these wonderful shows. Ivan Tukundane is my name, and this is the Ivan Show.